90-Day Fiancé Shekinah Garner shares new surgery, fans worry. 90-Day Fiancé star Shekinah Garner is known for the number of cosmetic surgeries she has undergone over the years. Her fiancé, Sarper Güven, has also made several modifications throughout his body, making many people think that they're perfect for each other. However, Shekinah recently took to social media to share another one of her new cosmetic surgeries, and fans are starting to worry. Keep reading to see why. 90-Day Fiancé. How are Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven today? Shekinah and Sarper are still sharing photos and clips about each other online, showing that they're still together. Shekinah previously had a public interview in which she shared that they now live in Istanbul. It also appears the two have been busy with their lives, leading to their occasional long-distance situations. In July, Sarper shared a clip of himself featuring how he handles back scratching while he and Shekinah are in a long-distance relationship. According to the 90-Day Fiancé star, he uses the corners of his house to scratch his back. But it also proves he has no other woman to do it for him. Shekinah shares new surgery. Fans worry. Shekinah recently took to Instagram to share photos about what she's been up to over the past few days. But one photo caught the attention of many. It was a picture from her latest cosmetic procedure. The 90-Day Fiancé star had something done to her face again. This made some people worry, adding that she's starting to turn into Darcey Silva, who is notorious for her addiction to plastic surgeries. However, Shekinah Garner later took to the comments section to clarify that she had one of her fillers dissolve. What did you do? Are you okay? More surgeries. What a shock. You'll look like Darcey soon. That looks great. I'm Armenian, so we have similar foods and such. Enjoy. Just coming to say your nose looks perfect. 90-Day Fiancé. Sarper Güven continues to win fans. Aside from Shekinah, Sarper has also been catching the hearts of many fans. Viewers have noticed his sincere efforts to keep his relationship with Shekinah stronger. He assures Shekinah that he's loyal to her despite his past of dating over 2,500 women. The 90-Day Fiancé star even made the fans laugh after breaking character with Shekinah. They were having a serious conversation when Sarper suddenly told his partner that he was once a CCK. This made Shekinah Garner laugh and cover her face. He later told her that he had turned into a peacock because he was trying to make her fall in love with him. 90-Day Fiancé Sarper Güven admits he's 90-Day Fiancé star Sarper Güven is getting a lot of attention following the latest episode of The Other Way. The 44-year-old man from Turkey had one of the most interesting backgrounds among the cast members. He claimed that he had slept with over 2,500 women. His past has also become a problem for his partner, Shekinah Garner. But the two are trying their best to keep their relationship strong. Sarper even made Shekinah break character after an unexpected confession. Keep reading to see the shocking clip. 90-Day Fiancé. How are Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner today? Shekinah has been having issues with Sarper's past during the latest season of 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way. It even came to a point where she confronted him after meeting with his ex. However, the two have been going strong behind cameras. They're currently living in Istanbul. The couple likes to share photos from their dinner dates and travels. In June, Shekinah shared a photo with her man with the caption, "I had never met a soul who could speak my language until there was you. You are fluent in me." Sarper admits he's a CCK? In an Instagram post, TLC shared a clip from the latest episode of Toe showing a hilarious clip between Sarper and Shekinah. The 90-Day Fiancé stars were having a serious conversation when Sarper suddenly began to showcase his poetry. According to Sarper, he was once a CCK, catching Shekinah off guard. Shekinah Garner was surprised and immediately laughed at her man, who later said that he had eventually become a peacock, trying to impress her. The two ended up breaking character and bursting out of laughter. The clip also received positive comments from fans who couldn't get over Sarper Güven's statements. "I'd see what anyone says, Sarper is absolutely hilarious." Okay Sarper. You changed my mind. I love you two together, so cute and adorable. He's unintentionally hilarious and I love it. Don't care what nobody says, I love him. LOL, the language barrier is too funny. 90-Day Fiancé. Shekinah Garner breaks silence about Sarper Güven's financial status. Shekinah recently gave an interview in which she opened up about the speculation that she's usually the one who spends on her man. According to the 90-Day Fiancé star, she spends nothing when she's with her man in Turkey, adding that she was able to save so much because of him. Shekinah Garner has also been trying to defend Sarper Güven from criticisms about his past. She thinks that people are starting to slut-shame her man, and it's not a good thing to judge someone based on their body count. 90-Day Fiancé Sarper Güven gets rid of his past with Shekinah. 90-Day Fiancé Sarper Güven gets rid of his past with Shekinah Garner. Fans have seen the two of them go through a lot of struggles. Is there any hope for them? Right now, it is uncertain. However, fans do see potential between the two and hope they can work it out. Shekinah moved to Turkey for Sarper. Keep reading to find out more about this. Shekinah makes the move. Shekinah has moved to Turkey to be with Sarper. She also revealed that since she decided to stay with Sarper and move to be with him, that her family has cut off ties with her. This was shocking to fans, especially since Shekinah ultimately wants to move back to the United States with Sarper. However, Sarper and his family are not totally on board with this idea, especially since Shekinah's family will not even speak to her. Sarper Güven gets rid of his past. Sarper has been with a lot of women in the past. He even had keepsakes of his time with them. Sarper Güven had a cabinet full of bottles of alcohol that he drank with different women. This is something that Shekinah hated and did not understand why he still had. Sarper has always pushed back on getting rid of them, as he claimed it reminded him of the places he visited rather than the women. However, he decided to get rid of his past by smashing all of the bottles. Shekinah also tried to break some bottles, but she could not get them to break. Sarper revealed that it felt good to get rid of them. Smashing them, throwing them, seeing them explode, it's kind of getting rid of my anger, getting rid of my past. I have to do it more often. It seems that Sarper finally decided to get rid of his past. He smashed all the bottles that Shekinah had a problem with. He stated that he never drinks alone, which meant he drank each of the bottles with a different girl. However, he has finally gotten rid of his past by taking Shekinah to smash all of the bottles. This was a big step in their relationship, and fans hope that this makes them stronger. What do you think about him finally getting rid of the bottles? Sound off in the comments below. I can't believe it. Sarper Güven from 90-Day Fiancé is actually winning me over. 90-Day Fiancé star Sarper Güven is in America, and he's showing a different side of himself that has me reconsidering my original impression of the Turkish star. When reality TV star first appeared on the series, he was portrayed as the ultimate ladies' boy. Sarper Güven had been with well over 2,000 women and was proud of it. He kept knickknacks of his conquests, a black book with tally marks, and provided expert advice to fellow 90-Day Fiancé franchise cast members who struggled in the dating department. Many fans, myself included, were disgusted and outraged by this type of behavior. Sarper paraded around and claimed his sexual history was good for his relationship. He was also known for being rude, brash, and employing double standards that caused endless issues with his fiancée, Shekinah Garner. He would flirt and work with other women, but didn't want Shekinah interacting with men. Understanding Shekinah and Sarper's dynamic was difficult, especially because she has a young daughter and probably wouldn't want her to endure this type of behavior. Shekinah's friends and family were strongly against their relationship as well. But they decided to push aside the red flags and work on building a long-term sustainable relationship, and I have to admit I'm quite surprised at how much the star has grown. It's been a few years since Sarper first joined the series, and I'm noticing some major changes in him. 90-Day Fiancé's Sarper seems to want to improve their relationship. When Sarper first appeared on the series, he seemed like one of the most selfish and perhaps borderline narcissistic stars in the franchise. Everybody enjoys their personal comfort levels, and sometimes people struggle with compromises, but I thought Sarper took his antics to another level in the series. He thought it was acceptable to brag and keep souvenirs from his past sexual conquests. He was also adamant about keeping these items and his deteriorating bed in his home in front of Shekinah's face, despite her being vocal about her discomfort. The more Sarper appeared on screen in the earlier seasons, the more I wondered how Shekinah could tolerate this type of behavior. Yet, I've noticed there's been a big change as the years have gone on. In the past, Sarper was very much about his own needs and desires and often pushed Shekinah to follow along with his game plans. However, now that he's in America, he's been excruciatingly accommodating to Shekinah's living situation, even though he's had endless adjustments he's had to make. He seems genuinely interested in appeasing Shekinah and making their new dynamic work. For instance, he graciously accepted that his new home is also Shekinah's workspace and that he has to leave when she has clients. He also accepted that they couldn't have simple and basic luxuries, like cooking in the apartment. While some of these rules likely contribute to his discomfort, he's realized that his new life has more strict guidelines he must follow and will be drastically different from when he was in Turkey. He's doing his best to still remain open-minded about the situation, which is certainly more than could be said for the 90-Day Fiancé franchise stars in general. The introduction of 90-Day Fiancé's modern Sarper. To take the first point a little further, Sarper doesn't just want to make their relationship work. I think Sarper is genuinely changing and growing into a better version of himself. I think Sarper needed a big push initially from Shekinah, and once he learned she was serious about her desires and making sure her needs were met, I think he genuinely realized he needed to change. I think Sarper was lonely living the life that he did, and then, with someone like Shekinah by his side, he realized the full potential of a long-term relationship. As a result, perhaps the biggest change is that there's now a modern Sarper that handles the murkiest situations with a different sense of grace, which was evident during the meeting between Sarper and Shekinah's friends. In the past, when Sarper would have been territorial or confrontational, he proved just how calm he could remain under pressure when he was questioned by Shekinah's friends at dinner. When Shekinah's sister visited Turkey, Sarper didn't leave the best impression, so he certainly had some mistakes he needed to correct. Yet, in my opinion, Shekinah's friends, more specifically Dan, were far more disrespectful, and Sarper did a much better job of keeping his composure. I can understand wanting to protect their friend, but Dan seemed more like a jealous ex-boyfriend, not a concerned friend. However, old Sarper most definitely wouldn't have tolerated that line of questioning and disrespect that he did from Dan. Sarper especially wouldn't have tolerated that behavior from someone who was interested in Shekinah in a romantic manner. Yet, modern Sarper appeared and he remained calm but firm. Later, in a more appropriate setting, Sarper did let Shekinah know that there were no guarantees in the future if Dan poked the bear again. However, Sarper's actions at dinner were a drastic change from what I'd seen in the previous seasons. When the couple first appeared on the series a few years ago, I initially wondered how serious their relationship was and if Sarper truly loved Shekinah. Sarper, despite being intimate with thousands of women, never had a real relationship. He didn't treat women the way they deserved to be treated or even offered them an ounce of respect. More often than not, I found his behavior to be outrageous and a little disgusting. Until Shekinah appeared in his life, Sarper seemed to look at women as a conquest and another number to add to his book. However, I'm starting to take Sarper a little more seriously. Even his goofy and playful side seems to have a different air to it. Sarper told Shekinah a few seasons ago that he would make the changes he needed to and gain her trust. At first, I was hesitant too and wasn't sure Sarper could live up to his fiancé's expectations. However, now after seeing the major changes he's made along the way, the star has me looking at him from a different angle, and I think the star might be on his way to outgrowing his partner.